Right through the door here, we've got a little bit more of the barn where the Jeeps are. So you walk through here, check it out. There's a Willys Jeep, and there's a Willys Jeep, and there's a Willys Jeep. And there are parts for these everywhere. They're all over in the buckets. There's an engine right there. There's an engine on a stand. Obviously it's mostly a block. But on the shelves are all kinds of parts. And the plan will be to get them all, and then they can go with the Jeeps. So these are 3 of them, and this one here is pretty complete and apparently runs really well, and this one is very complete and runs really well. The one in the corner over here is basically just a rolling chassis. There's no engine in it, there's no transmission in it. Looks like there's some more parts and pieces sitting in there. A couple transmissions, looks like some steering columns, seats. Up here we've got, you know, some hoods, and there's a tailgate right there. You know, they've got pieces for these everywhere. So there are a total of 5. These 3 here that have been in the barn. Let's open this door out here. And right here is number 4, and this is actually a military one. I don't know a lot about it at the moment, but it apparently is complete and runs. The only problem is the body is extremely rusted out, and so you know, that obviously detracts from a lot, but at the same time most of it's there. You know, the engine is all in there, still has a transmission. Apparently this one runs very well. Check that out, old T3 headlight bulbs. Those are awesome. So, and then we're gonna go way back over there, and that's where Jeep number 5 is, and it's actually like 5.5, because there's a chassis, a whole bunch of body panels. These are the doors to a cab, a full cab for one of these Jeeps. So apparently this is the one that they used the most, which makes sense. I mean, it's like a copper brown color. It's kind of cool. But they've got a sprayer set up on it that will be leaving here. And then, as I said, the plan will be to get all of the parts and pieces for all of them, and basically help them clean up the barn, and then we're gonna get to putting them together, getting them running, playing with them. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. So what else do we have here? There's another engine right there. I mean, there are just parts on that shelf everywhere. Then we got an awesome old International here. It's got an International 340 utility. That's a cool tractor. And then we've got a Farmall M. She thinks my tractor's sexy. That's a beautiful tractor. And then over here, there is a Massey Ferguson. I don't know what model this is, but apparently it runs really well. Pretty cool old tractor. She also thinks that one's sexy as well. But yeah, I am absolutely pumped to be able to find all of these Jeeps all in one place. And one of the biggest reasons that I went after potentially this deal here is that everything's here. All of the parts, all the pieces, all of the extras. It would be really hard to find all the parts and pieces that I have found here all in one place if I needed them. And so the Jeeps range from 1946 to 1960, or I think it's 1964, I believe, is the oldest one. But most of them, I think they're all in the 40s and early 50s. So yeah, let's go ahead and get I think we're going to go ahead and try and get this one started up. Apparently this one runs. We can put a battery in it. This is the one they've used the most recently of them all, and this is the one they used the most out of them. So they say that we throw a battery on it and it'll start right up. So we're going to give it a shot. But we'll just look at it, and I love these old flathead engines. So it's a flathead inline 4, and it looks like it's got the little 90 for the air cleaner off. Battery goes here. Yeah. It's dirty and dusty, but it's exactly what I expected. Pretty awesome. So, yeah, let's get the battery in there and we'll see what happens. They even have a battery for it, so drop this in. Okay. All right, now you look around, you smell for smoke. That sounds better. Smoking that. Where? Right here. Right here. Find the body ground. All right, let's try that.
I don't think we're getting spark.
Oh. Thought it popped once though. All right, let's try and start it up. I think we're getting smoke. Okay. There we go. It's flickering. Yep, I felt it. There we go. Yeah. There's spark. Don't touch that unless you want to get shocked. There, that's spinning better. Okay, ready? Those are ready. Yeah.
Not neutral. The thing's on the shaft.
Oh, it's here?
Yeah.
Okay. Four-wheel drive? There, yeah. It was in 4.
It was?
Yeah. All right. What I want to do is now back it up, line it up, so then we can pull straight out, because we're not going to pull those dollies in the dirt. Yeah. Here. Pull that back.
That's what you did for the day.
That's his Jeep.
That's it.
He picked it.
He knows how to run that.
All right. So, we're going to go a little further that way and then back it up slightly. Yep.
grabs. How's that look? Good, right on. I got brakes locked up. Try it now. All right, let's all of you at the back or the front, just push. Take that off. One of you might need to get next to it and like kick the tires as we're turning. And then lift that strap. All right, help him with the wheels. Are the tires going to touch before the ram? Before the jack? Yeah. Probably gonna have to set it back. All right, go ahead and unhook it. And we got a little charge out of it. Turn it. Watch that strap.
Yeah, just a little bit more that way, it'll fit.
About to fall off that wheel. Okay, good. Help me with the tires, Ben. Can I clear that winch mount?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, got me. All right, this one's a bit crunchy. It's a good piece. So if you just cut her on the rust, then we could just weld that right in. Yeah, that one too. I mean, right there. This piece is probably savable. We should keep. Yeah, that's a good piece. The problem is here, if I drive down the road with this, I might lose this piece, and later I'm gonna need it. This is just sitting here too. This is glass. I think right there. Probably. Yeah. Is it hooked into that pocket? Go to the one in the back, the further one back. All right, just drop it in, drop it through the hole, and then pull it back up. I will, but we'll put the binder on it. All right, so here is the 5th and technically 6th Jeep. So we've got, this is a 1955, and it has no engine at the moment. Transmission's in it, and the engine is actually up at the house. But as well, there is the rest of the cab. So there's a full cab for one of these. And then right next to it, we've got a frame, some doors, axles, rims and tires. So for tonight, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab some of these, the hood panels, we're gonna grab some of the doors and stuff and kind of get it ready to, we're gonna use a tractor to get these two out, but not today. Hold on here. Tire. Got it. Oh, not a good idea. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm on a pile of scaffolding, round bars. I need to not die here. Like that. This side working. Working. Just straighten it out, straighten it out. Go the other way. Straighten it out. Okay, okay. You're good. All right, Ben, come over here and get this, make sure it doesn't get the fender.
That side? No. Just go for it. Good? Go, go there. Take it up. A little bit my way, a little bit my way.
Keep coming. Keep coming.
Is that right about there?
Good. All right.
Make sure you chalk it or something doesn't go rolling off.
All right. Here, I got something here.
Okay.
Hold it there. All right, well, we got 4 of them loaded today. I'm gonna get these ones home and then we'll be back for all the rest of the pieces back in the woods and all the extra parts. Can't wait to show you those. So yeah, get them chained down and we'll get back to the shop. Okay, I want the bucket here, and then I'm gonna try and chain it maybe around that, straight up. Nope, that's not that. Okay, we'll find something. All right, stop. We'll see how this goes. Like what? Like that. Yeah. Help, Ryan. I can tip it down, but help me not jump out the back. Arm down.
Pull it hard your way while I set it. Here, friend. That tire just came off the beam. No, no, up. You're in the back. What's that way? What's that side?
Now the task is loading all the parts. So see, this whole pile, all of these are extra Jeep parts. And then there's an engine there that you can't quite see, and there's an engine in the other room, and another engine right there. So, plus there's this awesome basically old generator that they turned into an engine stand. We're gonna work on getting the majority of this all loaded, and then we'll bring it back to the shop. We're gonna have to sort it and go through it and see what we've got. But this is all Jeep Willys parts, and it's amazing. I'm absolutely blown away. All right, well, we got the Jeeps back. This one is the most complete of them all. It runs and drives, as you saw. We used it to pull the other, at least the other three, onto a trailer. But let me show you all the parts that we got for this thing and the other Jeeps. We got so many parts. All right, we'll just walk here in this bay. This is the engine for the 55. It's a CJ5 or CJ6. Apparently, a local high school completely rebuilt it years ago, and it just never got put back in the Jeep. So that's awesome. We have another flathead here and another flathead here, and all I've done to them, basically plug all the holes, vacuum out any mouse nests around the intakes. We've bolted this water neck back on, and then strapped them to a couple of different carts for that. But we've got seats. Those are all air intakes, basically oil bath air cleaners. There's a oil filter housing, small gas tank. That's a canvas top. Those two pieces there are part of a hard top, which is right there. There are clutch parts, radiators, gas tanks, all kinds of covers, heater cores and heaters, additional windshields. There is just a mountain of engine parts and just miscellaneous pieces. Here's two of the additional transmissions. These are the two that were inside. There's a whole pile outside of them. And then these are additional both soft and hard doors. And so there are at least 2 or 3 total cabs for these Jeeps. We even got the wire doors. We got tailgates. We got old school jerry can holders. That's a grill cover, kind of like that copper one has. All kinds of lights. This compressor, he just kind of threw in, which I am actually pumped about. It's an Ajax motor, and these are old school motors, but they work very well. This is a 2 horsepower. It can be 110 or 220, and it's got a Quincy model 2100 RB1 air compressor pump on it. That is a very, very good compressor, and I may have a different use for it than what's on here. But so I was kind of pumped to have that. I don't know how good the tank is, but we'll mess with that later. But got another engine block. I believe this is for the RJ6, RJ5. There's a good head somewhere around here. These are all like starters. There's the head right there. There's the head for probably that engine. These are starters and generators, and then we got all kinds of brake components down there. We got intakes and exhaust manifolds, axles, and pickups. This is like carburetors, air intake. There's a governor, horn, bunch of relays, bunch of solenoids. We've got down here on the ground all kinds of distributor parts, handles, knobs, caps. Those are some camshafts. There's a crankshaft down there, steering wheel, lights, trim bezels, electric buttons, all these gauges, all these spark plugs, a bunch of new old stock bearings, you name it. Here's another windshield. Here's 2 more hoods, jerry cans, additional jerry can holders. Yeah, there is just, you know, and then down here, let's see what else we got. These are like transmission shifter plate covers. Those are all oil pans. So, one of the major reasons, there's a hitch. That's a PTO, a couple PTOs. But one of the major reasons that I bought everything was the parts. These Jeeps, not only are they, you know, between, basically we have a 46, a 49, 251s, and a 55. And so those 5 Jeeps all have titles. They're not all complete, so we'll go outside and I'll show you where the rest of them are. And then there's a whole nother chassis with kind of a cab. So technically there's 6. And, you know, I don't need this many Jeeps. I don't think anybody needs this many Jeeps. But they're absolutely amazing. They're nostalgic. This has been on my bucket list forever. And buying them in this condition is exactly how I buy everything, you know, kind of junk, but yet just mountains of parts. And so having all of this does not mean I'm not going to have to buy things, but it sure is going to make it easier to kind of put together these Jeeps and see what we've got. So let's go outside, we'll take a look at the Jeeps and the other parts. Another thing that he gave me was this roll-around cart with a radiator on it. So this is an old U.S. Army power unit PE95-H, and the generator itself is missing, and all that really is here is this cart, the radiator, and a gas tank. And this is basically an engine stand. You'd basically set an engine in here, hook up some coolant to those, run a fuel line to the tank here, and then boom, you'd have a water-cooled engine to stand a test. You know, I might have to do some fabrication on being able to put certain engines in here or figure out a way to mount them, but I thought that was absolutely awesome. I don't intend on using it ever for a generator again, but, you know, just as an ability to start some of these small engines on a stand with water cool would be awesome. So that came with it as well. The other 3 Jeeps, we've moved outside. And a friend of mine gave me this canopy tent, and I thought, what a perfect opportunity to put it up and throw 3 of the Jeeps in here. So we've got the military one, we've got one of the other ones, I don't know which one that is, it has no engine or transmission in it, and then that one over there has an engine and transmission, and the only thing that's really wrong with it is it's missing some engine parts. He basically robbed some parts like the water pump, the fuel pump, and I think the carburetor and distributor are off of it. So this one also has a complete engine, and apparently it runs really, really well. Engine and transmission. Its biggest problem is the rot. Completely rotten in the middle here. I mean, I may try and find, I know there are companies that have just a drop-in bed or a whole like bucket that you could just weld in, and I think I could probably pretty easily cut out the rot, weld in a pan, and make this Jeep so much better. We'll see. But there's also a mountain of tires and rims way over there. Right over here we have one of the cabs. This is an aluminum cab. It is extremely light, and it is literally about to fall apart. The glass, at least on the 2 sides, is completely broken, destroyed. It might be better than starting from scratch. I might be able to fabricate it back together, but I don't know. It was buried in the weeds. We had to dig that one out. Over here we have the number 6th Jeep, essentially. So this frame was sitting in the weeds, and this body was sitting in the weeds. This body is not attached at all. It is literally just sitting there. All of these axles were sitting on the frame, and then these 2 transmissions were sitting in the weeds. So I know nothing about them. I think that at least the shift knobs are slightly bound up. At the end of the day, possibly even taking this bed out and welding it in that military Jeep. I don't know. All right, tucked right in here, we've got Jeep number 5. So this is the newest. This is the 1955. I believe it's a CJ5 or a CJ6. I don't know. I haven't done much to it. The transmission is still in there. The front axle, the rear axle, pretty much everything is there. I just need to drop that engine in and hook up the miscellaneous components to put this thing back together. Now, it's not perfect. It's got some rot kind of in there and in there, but I think we have a windshield for it, and I think this red color, a bunch of I think there's a body that goes to this thing. It might drop into these holes here and these holes here. I don't know. It's definitely got that much more modern Jeep look than the older Willys do. It's got that classic CJ style in the front with that grille and the hood, but it is still a Willys. You can see here on the tailgate, Willys. So I don't know if we'll end up getting them all completely put back together. The plan is gonna be to probably try and make at least 2 or 3 complete running usable Jeeps out of all these. But for now, we saved them, and we're working on how to organize and sort the parts and how to store it. And I'm doing my best to kind of try and take care of things. Yet again, another set of old amazing machines rescued here at Salvage Workshop. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed the rescue of all these. There will be more to come. I do want to get at least 2 or 3 of these up and going pretty soon, and then we'll figure out what we need to do from there. This military one is really a shame. The body got destroyed and got left out for so long, but it is not beyond saving. Sure, it's going to need some work, and sure, it's going to need some patches and TLC, but my goal will not be to restore these. My goal will be to make them usable again, make them safe again, make them something that we can enjoy, and then we'll go from there. I mean, I enjoy the patina on a lot of these old rigs. I hope you've enjoyed the process of bringing them all back here to Salvage Workshop, and we'll go from there. So you guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.